Good evening, people. I hope you're all fine. Just to let you know, I'm gonna do some quick messages. Now, yesterday we were in Liverpool, and I've got videos to load for that. Hopefully, in a bit. I'm just working on it. One of this sightseeing on a bus, and then I've got two videos of us on the boat crossing the River Mersey. Now, I hope one of them comes out okay because yesterday it was raining, so we'll see how it goes. They'll be up soon as well. Friday, what are we doing? We're going to the Pleasure Beach. So that's another vlog we will be doing around the Pleasure Beach. And also today we went to Fleetwood, so I'll put a little bit of a video up of that. Then Saturday we have got our last day. We will be seeing the fireworks in Blackpool. Something to look forward to. So we'll catch you in tomorrow's vlog. That's Friday, and I hope you all have a good weekend. Okay. But from us, it's goodbye just now. Bye bye. Remember to like and share. Bye bye. Guys, we are now down at Liverpool. We have come down to the dockside, and we're going to be taking you all around the front at Liverpool. There is the docks where this morning used to be filmed. So we're going to be taking you around, showing you around all the part of the front of Liverpool, and hopefully we could try and get on the River Mersey on the boat as well. So we'll take you around this way first and show you. All right.
Can you leave that way?
No. Your mum stayed down here, didn't she? Where's the Premier in? Didn't you say? Premier in back. It's somewhere around here. Oh, I like that boat. Judy's Aid. I like that one, yeah. There's a restaurant, look.
Ooh.
We shall take you around here. Over there, guys, it's a big wheel. It's going round, but I don't think there's people on it at the moment. So that's a big wheel. But what we're going to be doing, we're going to go on sightseeing bus, I think, and that includes river cruise, etc. So we're going to do that. Right, we are on our tour bus and we're going to go upstairs. So let's go up the steps.
So you said,
Hi, hi.
well, where's your key? I said, in my bag. And him and his mates.
And we are up the steps. I'm going in by here. Go this by here.
Go.
Yeah, better view.
Eh?
Better.
Is it?
Yes. So we're up the top deck.
Over.
And we're going to show you going round.
Here we go. Hey, buddy.
You're just welcome on board the City Explorer. Welcome to the tour of the city. It takes an hour, approximately an hour. You can get off and get the driver. There's 2 buses out, one every 30 minutes. And your tickets last all day. In fact, they'll last you 2 days. If you're here tomorrow, use the tickets. Go and use us like a taxi to go and visit the sites, the cathedrals and so on. Enjoy the city. Now it takes an hour with John driving down there and my man in his Paul. Well, you're going to miss, well it would be John and Paul, wouldn't it? If
Yeah.
you're in Liverpool. But you're gonna lose both of us now because we were just doing the lunch for the guys that driver. But they're very good. Ollie's very good. I'm going to tell you a few stories before we get to the next stop, which is stop number 2. Basically, this is the dock road. The docks run for 8 miles, and it used to be known as the Strand. Some part of it still is. Well, of course, in German that means the beach, the shoreline, and everything on your left, all 8 miles of docks, have been reclaimed from the River Mersey. Liverpool was a tiny fishing village. 800 years ago, we weren't even that. Okay? It was King John who decided he wanted a village community started here, settlement. On your right by the Hilton Hotel, that's where the pool was. This is how we got the name. Floating in this big pool of water was seaweed. Anglo-Saxon for seaweed was liver. If you're Welsh, it's lava. So we were seaweed pool. That's how we got the name. And a liver bird is a cormorant, a local bird. There's no such thing as a liver bird. It's a cormorant with seaweed in its beak. See that building on your right with the stripes? That was the headquarters of the White Star Line. It's got a big white star in the window. Their most famous vessel of all time, the Titanic, no less. The Liverpool ship that never came here. It was supposed to, but there was a fire in the engine room and it was delayed sailing for 3 days. And that gave them 3 problems. One, the crockery was here for the vessel. The meat was here for the vessel. 3 braces, either side of us, these are the 2 or 3 braces. These are built on the landmark built for the Mersey Boxer Harbour Board. It has a dome on it like a cathedral up there. There was a shooting, and it was at the top of that building, the assassin was up there. The cabinet minister, that was the opening round. That's fiction. You know that, there's a bit of fact. In January, the G7 had an emergency meeting in that museum to discuss what to do if Russia invaded the Ukraine. Why they chose a museum in Liverpool, I've got no idea. Anyway, this is stop number 2. This is where I leave it and Ollie gets back on board. That's okay.
Yes, for the ferry.
Downstairs is John, he is our driver, and to your left hand side there's a statue of 4 men walking towards the ferry terminal. That, ladies and gentlemen, is a little local band called the Beatles. You might have heard of them. If you've not, don't worry about it folks, they're like the Kings, but not as good. So we're just going in between 2 of our free graces now. To the right hand side we're passing the Port of Liverpool building. This structure was opened back in about 1908. It's mostly offices inside really, always has been shipping companies. Then to your left hand side you've got the Cunard building, as in Cunard Cruise Liner Company, those who famously financed the Lusitania. Although some of their other famous vessels are also written on the benches, you can see that. Now back then, the top few floors of the building were the main administration offices for the company, and then the bottom floor was a waiting room for those going to the New World, America, Australia, etc. These days the building is slightly different. Top few floors are now for Liverpool City Council, so that's where they allegedly work. And the bottom floor is for the British Music Experience. You can pop yourselves inside there from opposite the ferry terminal to learn about all the great bands that have come from Britain. People like the Rolling Stones, The Who, Led Zeppelin, Pink Floyd, David Bowie, Queen, and of course Liverpool's most fantastic and most influential band, Frankie Goes to Hollywood. So that's all in there, ladies and gents, that's all worth checking out. Now both the Cunard and the Port of Liverpool building have this nice kind of off-white creamy colour to the stonework. This is called Portland stone, and Portland stone is actually highly prized by architects. Like the Three Graces, the Royal Liber building. That's faced in granite rather than Portland stone. Might be a bit tricky to see with the weather, but the top third of the building is actually a slightly different colour, and that's because it's slightly different granite. The bottom 2 floors, Scottish granite, then they ran out. They had to go all over the world and find a colour, a similar granite colour, and they went with Norwegian, which is what was on the second floor. When that building was first opened back in 1911, that was actually the tallest building in Europe. Today, it's not even the tallest in Liverpool. You can see the tallest in Liverpool ahead of us on the right hand side. It's that glass building with the corner cut off on one side. That is called West Beacon. It's mostly apartments in there, to be honest, but there is also a restaurant on the top, and they tend to do afternoon teas and things like that. and it does give you an amazing view of the city and the surrounding area. On a less cloudy day like this, you'll see Snowdon from up there, which is about 55 miles away from Liverpool. Now look to the left, ladies and gentlemen, of course you've got the iconic Liver birds, the symbol of the city of Liverpool. Mostly an eagle by design. Then they've got the head and neck of a cormorant, which is a scenery of birds that we will find here on Thursday. The female liver bird is called Bella, and she is the one that overlooks the river and the sea to make sure that the sailors come back home safe and sound to their wives and their families. And then opposite Bella is Bertie, the male liver bird who looks into the city of Liverpool to make sure all the pubs open. Final roll. Obviously this is the River Mersey here to the left hand side, and as I say, 3 miles ahead there's the mouth of the river, and that's the Irish Sea. One last thing about the liver birds as we're passing, can you see they've got something in their beaks, ladies and gents? Same way the dove has an olive branch, the liver bird actually has a piece of seaweed called lava. And this is there because pre-1207 there wasn't really that much going on in the area. But there was a big tidal pool that was full of that seaweed. A lava pool. Over the years, of course, that has become Liverpool. That's one of the theories as to where the name comes from. It's my favourite. And directly ahead of us you do have Liverpool's parish church. This is the Church of Our Lady and St Nicholas, and it's been on those grounds in one form or another for about 750 years now. In fact, when that structure was first built, it was pretty much directly on the riverfront. So where we are right now, all of this is reclaimed land from the River Mersey, back in the days when it was much warmer. Sure if Paul mentioned this building here to your left, folks, but this was Albion House, the headquarters of the White Star Cruise Liner Company and those who famously financed the Titanic, of course. Now, the Titanic never actually came to Liverpool for obvious reasons, but it was a Liverpool registered vessel. All of its paperwork, its registration fees, etc. was done in that building to your left, Albion House. Today, this building is known as 30 James Street, and this is a Titanic-themed hotel. Although I wouldn't stay the night, ladies and gentlemen, there's only enough fire exits for the first place. Coming up towards stop number 3 now, ladies and gentlemen, this is for the world-famous Cabin Club, and it's also for the major shopping district, Liverpool 1. If you want to jump off here at any of the other stops, folks, just ping the bells and stay seated till we come to the stops, okay? Yeah, so we'll drop you off when we get around the corner, guys. Okay. To the right-hand side, we've got a statue of Queen Victoria here. The height of Victoria's reign was the height of ours, so there's numerous references to her throughout the city. It's worth noting that during the Second World War, all of those buildings to our right were completely bombed to rubble, but somehow the statue of Queen Victoria survived. I mean, her husband was German. I think he was converted. So this is stop 3 then, folks. The Cabin Club is to the left-hand side, and the shopping district is to the right. Okay.
It's the Cabin. Where's the Cabin Club?
Yeah, this is the cabin, lads.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okie doke, yeah.
Well, they're turning that into a number of different bits and pieces, including an indoor golf club. But yeah, they still haven't got rid of the damage. To your right-hand side, this is the Hard Day's Night Hotel. This is our Beatles-themed hotel in the city, of course. You can see the Fab Four up on the first floor here.
That's good.
The 4 statues are collectively known as Together Again, and what the Beatles are wearing represents what they did after the band split. So John Lennon is dressed in his New York denims, Paul McCartney as he was for the Wings, George Harrison the concert for Bangladesh, and finally Ringo Starr is sadly not dressed as Tom the Tank Engine. Missed opportunity, that one.
I like that.
Matthew Street is more of an alleyway really, that's why we don't go down it and past the Cavern Club itself, but it is worth going down there in your own time. Obviously the Cavern is the main attraction, the Beatles played there over 292 times. It's about £5 to get in there these days, folks, but there is live music on there all day, every day. They're all up and coming bands as well, so your money does go on to support local artists. Once we get through these lights, we're going to go into both of them are nice hotels, ladies and gentlemen, although I wouldn't recommend the bar at the Everton Hotel because they haven't got any cups. So which side me and John, I think. That's friends of these buses, so there we go. To your left hand side, this is one of the 2 traffic tunnels that goes underneath the River Mersey and then pops out on the Wirral Peninsula. It takes you about 5 minutes to drive underneath the River Mersey, folks, depending on the traffic, of course. That is the Queensway traffic tunnel there to your left. It was opened by the King. Further up the road is the Kingsway traffic tunnel, and that was opened by the Queen. Who's doing backwards or like that? And this, ladies and gentlemen, is stop number 4. So this is for the World Museum, the Walker Art Gallery, the Public Library, and this is also our closest stop to Lime Street train station that connects us to the rest of the country. So is anyone looking to jump off at stop number 4, ladies and gents? Anyone for 4? Okay. Just so you know, ladies and gentlemen, all 3 of these buildings are free to go inside, barring any special exhibitions that may be going on. So the World Museum's currently got a Doctor Who exhibition, you will have to pay in for that. But the other 5 floors are free, folks. At the top of the road you've got Liverpool's column, very similar to Nelson's column in London, but it is the Duke of Wellington who stands atop Liverpool's column, facing and overlooking his most famous battleground, the Battle of Waterloo. And he's got cracking eyesight, we can see that from there. Waterloo is in Belgium. To your left hand side is St John's Memorial Gardens. There are memorial trees there, folks, for John Lennon and for George Harrison. The central memorial is for Liverpool soldiers who fought during the Victorian era. And finally, this black copper cylinder with the crowd surrounding it is the city's memorial for the now 97 Liverpool Football Club supporters who lost their lives as a consequence of the Hillsborough Stadium disaster of 1989. City runs that to your left. To your right hand side, ladies and gentlemen, that's a good pub. Dr. Duncan's is a very traditional British style pub. We're talking wingback chairs and a fireplace your dog can sleep in front of, that kind of place. The man himself, Dr. Duncan, was actually an important character when it came to things like sanitation in surgeries. So he was Britain's first Surgeon Master General, and basically he's one of the first people to work out that we should wash surgical tools in between patients. Somebody had to work that out. To your right hand side is Lime Street train station, some of you may have seen that already. And then to your left is St George's Hall, one of the first neoclassical buildings in Europe. Very ancient Greek on the outside. Queen Victoria said it would not look out of place in ancient Athens. Although the interior does get a little bit more kind of Roman, a lot of mosaics, like statues, etc. I might tell you about the concert hall area in St George's in a moment, but quickly to your right, I do want to talk about the Empire Theatre here. The Empire Theatre is the last place the Beatles played in Liverpool. This was all the way back in 1965. And 2 years later, Jimi Hendrix headlined here with Pink Floyd and the Nice supporting. Which for 67 is a good lineup. Statues like the Golden Leaf. Is that you, John? while since we got you those special underpants. So yeah, lovely interior design, the concert hall area. Anyway, that's where Charles Dickens read out A Christmas Carol to the public for the very first time. One of Dickens' many penny readings, which he used to do all over the world. Turning to the right now, folks. Quickly making our way through Seymour Street here, but since we are on Seymour Street, coming up to your left hand side you've got this old stretch of architecture here. You'll notice that the windows are getting smaller with each floor up. Now this, ladies and gentlemen, is a classic example of what is now known as Georgian architecture. And we've got the most of this style of architecture outside of the city of Bath. Or Bath, that's a preference. Bath. Anyway, Bath's got the most of the country. We're going to see a lot more of this style of architecture between stops 6 and 10. That's going to be our main Georgian quarter. And as we go through that part of the city, you may notice that some of the windows on the Georgian houses have actually been bricked up. This, ladies and gentlemen, is because of a window and lighting tax imposed by Mad King George III. If you didn't, or simply refused to pay your window taxes, folks, they would brick up your windows. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is where the phrase daylight robbery comes from. Something like that. For those of you upstairs, you can look down into Lime Street train station, see the tracks. Again, if you come from if you came from by a train, you'll get through Lime Street. You notice it's in the road very dark and your phone signal dies. Well, that's because you're going through a solid sandstone cliff. They basically had to carve their way through the cliff on Lime Street into the city centre. But just as well, we are now at stop number 5, ladies and gents, for the Adelphi Hotel. Is anyone looking to jump off at the Adelphi, folks? Of what is now known as the Lytton's design, Lutyens design. And that's actually going to be the largest Catholic cathedral in the world if they finished it. Because this is the downside, ladies and gentlemen. Although they were happily building away throughout the 1930s, in 1939 the Second World War broke out. Workers were forced to down tools and go off to fight the Nazis. By 1945 the price of the cathedral had gone from £3 million to build to £27 million to build. I put that number through an inflation calculator, folks, and I do not have the time to read it all out. So all in all, this cathedral to your right hand side, that's Plan B. The original crypts and the catacombs. And if you want an impression of how tall the original was supposed to be, here to your left hand side, this red brick building is the Victoria building. Have a look to the top, folks, you see that lovely red brick clock tower? That would have neatly fit in the doorway of the original cathedral's design. So, it's going to be big, ladies and gents. Passing for the University of Liverpool Central Campus here. This is spot number 6, ladies and gentlemen, and this is for the Catholic Cathedral. Is anyone looking to jump off of the Catholic, folks?
Yo. Got a few ropes, you know.
All Church of England up there, guys, fair enough. It's certainly a rather unusually designed building for a Catholic cathedral, and for a very good reason. It was designed by a Presbyterian. Incidentally, when we see the Anglican Cathedral, that one was designed by a Catholic. We do it backwards here for a laugh. Shatter all the glass. The kid outside. is stop number 7. This is my personal place of worship, the Philharmonic Club. Does anyone want to jump off at stop number 7 for the pub?
No.
Fair enough. Second question, can anyone drive a tour bus and guide it as well? Me and John have had a long day. It's worth a go. Well, I suppose they were watching the building of this cathedral, folks, the Anglican Cathedral. This is stop number 8 if you're interested in jumping off here, ladies and gentlemen. The Anglican Cathedral is the largest cathedral in Britain, the 6th largest now in the world, and it also has the largest organ in the country. Although it depends what you find in the Philharmonic, I think, ladies. Just like the Catholic, the Anglican is largely free to go inside, although if you do want to go to the very top of the tower, that will cost you about £5. Maybe not on a day like this, but it does give you an amazing view of the city and the surrounding area. On a nice day you can see Snowdon from up there, which is about 55 miles away from Liverpool. I'd say it's a good little view. I mentioned before this cathedral was designed by a Catholic. This was a man called Giles Gilbert Scott. And Mr. Gilbert Scott was actually 22 years of age when he designed that cathedral to your left. Just 22. For a competition, and he later admitted that the winning plans were actually the same plans that he had drawn out the night before the deadline. Got bombed out church. Sure you can see why. During the May Blitz of 1941, an incendiary bomb went straight through the roof of the building to your left, blew out the windows, but as a 1,000,000 to 1 chance, the outside structure, well, that remained intact. So at the end of the war, instead of knocking down or repairing this building, the council said, no, we will keep it as it is and turn it into a memorial gardens. And that's more or less as you see it today. They've also started using the bombed out church for a number of arts and community projects, live music, live theatrical productions, real ale and cider festivals. Some of you may remember when we eased out of the first lockdown, the pubs reopened, but they wouldn't let us inside the actual buildings. Well, what we did in Liverpool was put as many benches in the bombed out church as physically possible. No roof, ladies and gentlemen, it's always outdoors. That's how you get away with that. Number 10 now, ladies and gentlemen. Again, if you're interested in jumping off here, do make yourselves known. You have a look around yourselves, you'll notice the street lamps are now lovely Chinese lanterns, and street names are in English and then Mandarin underneath. So 9th Street to your left, Harry Street to the right. Of course, the big giveaway that we're in Chinatown is probably the largest Chinese archway in Europe. A gift to the city of Liverpool by the Mayor of Shanghai in the year 2000, the oldest Chinese community in Europe. And this is because quite a lot of Chinese sailors used to work the Merchant Navy Blue Funnel Line, which went in between Liverpool, Shanghai and Hong Kong. A lot of them ended up settling in here. Of course, Liverpool as an old port city is a cultural melting pot, really. We've got influences from as far away as China and the West Indies, a lot of Welsh influences, a lot of Irish as well. Also quite a lot of Norwegian, Scandinavian and Swedish sailors coming in and out of the city. Many of them married the local girls, settled down to live Liverpool lives, and some of them brought with them a stew by the name of lobsters. Or for short, ladies and gents, simply Scouse. Ladies and gentlemen, if you've ever wondered whether the Liverpoolian nickname was Scouse, we're named after a stew. Of all things. All things. That particular piece of silverware, ladies and gentlemen, And I'm 31. Yeah, I was playing for that. That's sports world. Coming on to your left hand side later, this blue building with the cherry picker in front of us. Again, this is somewhere where you can get a bit of a discount and do so them our tickets. 20% off your first round or 20% off your very previous. Might be worth it. Now, as we make our way out of the Baltic Triangle, I'm sure you can tell what I mean by this being an old warehouse district. Back in the day, all those fancy red brick buildings we used